Hello everyone, Tracy Sizemore here. I am here to do RPGaDAY. I did this last year and I decided I was going to do it again this year. So that's what this is, and that's what this will be for the next 31 days. So here we are. And if you don't know what RPGaDAY is, it's a series of questions that you're supposed to sort of address once per day, so one question per day over the entire month. And it asks questions about your relationship with RPGs and various questions about how you interact with them, what you love about them, how how you play them, what you think about them in various forms. And the idea is that you're supposed to give positive answers and promote sort of the hobby a little bit and express, I think, the way I approach it is to express a little bit of myself in the answers that I give. And I have hope that other people will do the same. The questions this year are more esoteric than the previous year. The previous year was more about the nuts and bolts of RPGs, like the layout and the more specific things that you would find in a book, like best art, kind of stuff like that, or your favorite art or whatever. This time it's a little bit more thoughtful, philosophical, about how to play, about what kind of characters you play, about what people can do to make the game more enjoyable, like that kind of stuff. And so, in that sense, it'll be a little bit more self-indulgent, but that's okay. Because, again, what my hope is from watching other people answer these questions is that I'll get a sense of who they are underneath, because role-playing games for a lot of people are just a way to have fun for 4 hours in the skin of a different character. For other people, it's more than that. It's an ability to explore different aspects of yourself that you have trouble manifesting in real life or don't usually exhibit in real life, or exploring different aspects of other people that you don't completely understand, or wish fulfillment in the way, like, to be somebody that you wish you could be. All those things are completely valid expressions of RPGs. And so that leads me into the first question, which is the overall impossible to answer question, which is, what do you love about RPGs? That's the first question. And that's a tough one. It's a tough one to unpack. And I think that I'll just concentrate on one aspect of it for me. The reason what do I love about RPGs? I love that I can play a character that I have trouble being in real life. So that means both from a personality standpoint, meaning I can be a little shy and I can be a little worried, I can be a little anxious in real life, to the point where I've been brought up this way, and my brain is wired to be a little bit of a anxious person, and I don't like that about myself. And I try my very best to work through that and to rise above that and to change that. And it's weird because I can be super, super brave about certain things and super, super anxious about other things that other people are very, that they don't worry about, right? So my point, I suppose, is that role-playing games give me an opportunity to inhabit a character that is not like me, and the unfortunate things about myself I wish I had an easier time overcoming. So that's why my characters that I play and that I GM tend to be more outgoing, more outwardly positive. I'm a very optimistic person, but I hide it well. So my characters tend to not hide that. My characters tend to be, let's work towards something. Let's look at what we can do together kind of characters, you know. More than that, though, and this is getting personal, is that I'm a transgender female, and I find RPGs a invaluable outlet for allowing me to explore more about my feminine side. So I usually play females, not always, but usually. Sometimes I'll break out of that mold just to shake it up sometimes. But most of the time I'll play females. And so, you know, to a certain degree that's a wish fulfillment thing. And there's a lot to unpack there, and that's sort of beyond the scope of this video, obviously. But it's one of the reasons I play. It's one of the reasons I love RPGs, because it allows me to do that. And it gives me license among other people to be more like myself, right? So, so there's other reasons. It's a camaraderie thing. RPGs are, tabletop RPGs particularly, give you an excuse to get into a room with a bunch of people that you like and share experiences that you would not normally be able to share with them. So I was always a proponent as a young person of, let's play a game rather than watch a movie together. That was always my preference, because that way we can interact, that we can get to know each other and find out what we're all about. Even a game of Monopoly, right, which has its own baggage, but I found that much more fun and interesting than just sitting around and watching a movie. So RPGs are almost sort of the ultimate expression of that. You can get into a room or go to a con and play an RPG or run an RPG with a table full of complete strangers. And by the end of that 4 hours, or 3.5 hours, or whatever it is, you can be friends with those people. Like, legitimate friends. Like, that's somebody you've met, and now somebody you like, and somebody that you want to spend more time with. 4 hours. That's super hard for me to do outside of that context. I am a slow burn. It takes me a long time to be friends with people, or to get close to people, because I'm shy, and I have to have particular circumstances to engage my superpower, which is basically one-on-one discussions with people where I can get close to them, but it takes me time to get to that place. In RPGs, I can short-circuit that, and so all of a sudden I can make a couple of, not always, but it's possible, and it's pretty possible that I can come away from a con with a couple of new friends that I didn't have before, and friends that I actually want to talk to and hang out with. So, that's another reason I love RPGs. I can't think of another endeavor off the top of my head where that kind of phenomenon happens. So, okay, that's enough for that question. So I will leave that alone and call the first day of RPGaDAY for August 2018 done. And I will talk to you tomorrow.